Welcome back my YouTube channel Mystery Coins TV. Today we unlock the fascinating story behind one of the most intriguing coins from South Africa. This coin, 5 Rand coin, issued in the historic year of 1994. This isn't just any coin. The 1994 5 Rand holds deep political, cultural, and numismatic significance. It was minted during a time of great transition and stands today as a symbol of a nation stepping into a new era. In 1994, South Africa conducted its first fully democratic elections, and Nelson Mandela became the country's first black president. To commemorate this turning point, the South African Mint released a special version of the 5 Rand coin. At first glance, the coin might look like a standard issue. It features a bold, charging black wildebeest, a powerful symbol of strength and resilience found in many South African coin designs. The obverse side of the coin carries the traditional coat of arms used before the redesign in the early 2000s. Surrounding it are the words South Africa in both English and Afrikaans, a nod to the country's dual-language legacy at the time. But what makes this 1994 5 Rand truly fascinating isn't just the design. It's the story behind its limited mintage, the special strikes, and the few mysterious variants that have surfaced in the years since. Unlike the more common 5 Rand coins from the mid-2000s onwards, the 1994 version is sought after for several reasons. One being the transitional year it represents, and the other being a few anomalies reported by collectors. Some 1994 5 Rand coins were struck with unusual die errors, including off-center strikes, double dies, and mismatched edge lettering. These rare variants are where the true value of the coin begins to emerge. Even regular circulation coins from this year fetch more than face value due to collector demand. But it's the proof coins and error specimens that have gained international attention. A handful of collectors and private auction houses have reported highly pristine, uncirculated 1994 5 Rand coins selling for jaw-dropping prices, especially when accompanied by documentation and grading from trusted organizations like NGC or PCGS. Value. One such specimen, rumored to be one of only a few struck under unique minting conditions in 1994, was reportedly sold through a private deal for up to $3 million USD. While this figure might sound unbelievable at first, it reflects the convergence of historical relevance, numismatic rarity, and condition, the trifecta that drives elite coin values worldwide. Serious coin collectors often view this coin as a holy grail of modern South African numismatics. The price is not just about silver or base metal content. It's about owning a piece of living history. Experts suggest that values for top-grade 1994 5 Rand coins will continue to rise, especially as South Africa's democratic legacy becomes even more recognized globally. The coin also gained interest internationally due to its political symbolism. Collectors from the US, Europe, and parts of Asia actively seek out Mandela-era coinage, pushing prices even higher. Some dealers have even compared the 1994 5 Rand to early American commemorative coins in terms of potential investment return, particularly for error coins or proof strikes. It's also worth noting that the 5 Rand coin underwent a major design and security change in 2004, making the earlier coins even more distinctive and desirable by comparison. For those who may have old coins sitting in jars or drawers, it's worth taking a closer look, especially if you live in or have family from South Africa. You never know what treasures you may be holding. Always look for unique features, sharp details, uncirculated shine, and any anomalies in edge lettering or die strike. These can mean the difference between a standard coin and a collector's dream. Before selling or appraising, consider having the coin graded. Even a minor error or brilliant uncirculated condition could place your coin in a completely different price bracket. This coin, 1994 South African 5 Rand coin history. This coin, 2 cents coin from the year 1965. A small copper coin, yet surrounded by deep historical significance and surprising value in the collector world. The 2 cents coin issued in 1965 was part of the first decimal coinage released in South Africa after the country adopted the Rand system in 1961. The introduction of decimal currency marked a significant shift in South Africa's monetary system, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system with rand and cents. The coin was minted in bronze, a composition of 95.5% copper, 3% tin, and 1.5% zinc. It weighed approximately 5.67 grams and had a diameter of 22.35 millimeters. Its thickness was 1.67 millimeters, and the coin featured a smooth edge, characteristics consistent with other decimal coins of the period. The obverse of the coin proudly displays the bust of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator and founder of Cape Town. His profile was featured on many South African coins of the 1960s, symbolizing the beginning of European settlement in South Africa. Above the portrait, the name SUID Africa and South Africa appear, representing both Afrikaans and English, the two official languages of the country at the time. Below the portrait, the year 1965 is struck clearly, defining the coin's mint year on the reverse side. The design is more symbolic. It features two King Protea flowers, South Africa's national flower, blooming side by side. This image was meant to reflect the natural beauty and unique biodiversity of the country. The denomination 2C is boldly placed just beneath the Protea flowers, with an artistic layout that feels balanced and elegant. The designer of the reverse was Coert Steinberg, one of South Africa's most respected sculptors and coin designers. Despite its seemingly ordinary appearance, the 1965 2-cent coin carries more than just face value. While millions of these coins were minted for general circulation, only a few rare versions have gained tremendous value over time, primarily due to minting anomalies, pristine condition, or being part of uncirculated or proof sets. Some 1965 2-cent coins were minted with minor die variations or planchet errors, which makes them extremely rare. Even more rare are those that have survived nearly 6 decades without any scratches, discoloration, or signs of circulation. Coins graded by top certification services such as PCGS or NGC in mint state 65 or higher, especially in proof condition, are particularly sought after. In fact, in top-tier auctions, a single 1965 2-cent coin in exceptional proof condition with unique characteristics has been appraised at a staggering $2 million. Yes, $2 million. While that may seem extraordinary, it reflects the growing demand for South African numismatics, especially coins from the mid-20th century that mark political and cultural milestones. Rarity, condition, and historical significance converge in this particular coin to drive its high valuation. But not every 1965 2-cent coin will be worth that much. Common circulated pieces may still fetch between 50 cents to $5 depending on condition. Uncirculated versions can range from $20 to $150. However, coins with errors or in flawless proof condition are in a completely different league. Collectors worldwide seek out coins like this not only for their rarity, but for the unique story they tell. This coin is a direct link to a major monetary reform and a window into South Africa's political and economic history in the 1960s. The 1965 issue also carries significance as it was one of the first years South Africa's coins transitioned into full decimalization. For many, this adds to its historical value as a landmark moment in the country's coinage. For numismatists and investors alike, the lesson is clear. Always pay close attention to details. A coin that looks ordinary could turn out to be a rare gem hiding in plain sight. Especially when it comes to dates like 1965, where condition and type make all the difference. If you happen to come across this coin 1965 South Africa 2-cent coin history, this coin 1991 Rand coin. The 1 Rand coin is part of South Africa's long-running Rand currency series, which was introduced in 1961 to replace the South African pound. The coin we're looking at today was minted in 1990, a time of immense change in the country, both politically and economically. At first glance, the 1991 Rand coin may seem like an ordinary circulation coin. However, What makes it particularly special is a combination of factors including design, mintage, errors, and its historical context. Let's take a closer look at all of these. The obverse, or front, of the coin features the image of Jan van Riebeeck, a Dutch colonial administrator who is often credited as one of the founding figures of Cape Town. His portrait had been featured on earlier rand coins but was later replaced in future designs, making the 1990 coin part of the final era of this design. Around the obverse portrait is the name of the country, South-Africa and South Africa, written in both Afrikaans and English. This bilingual naming was a key part of South African coinage during the apartheid years, highlighting the country's dual-language policy at the time. The reverse of the coin features a majestic image of a springbok antelope, one of South Africa's national symbols. This image, designed by Coert Steinberg, is iconic in South African numismatics and has been used on multiple coins over the decades. The springbok is leaping across a natural landscape, with the denomination 1 rand clearly inscribed above it. The year of minting, 1990, is placed below. The design is both simple and elegant, representative of South African artistry during that period. The 1991 rand was made from nickel-plated copper, with a diameter of 31 millimeters and a weight of 9.5 grams. It has a reeded edge and was part of general circulation. While millions were produced, not all were created equally. This is where things get interesting. While most 1991 rand coins were regular strikes for circulation, there are reports of rare variants, especially those with minting errors or proof-like characteristics. Some collectors have identified double-die obverse versions, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. These error coins are extremely rare and are usually discovered only through close inspection or professional grading. When certified by numismatic authorities such as PCGS or NGC, these coins can reach very high values at auction. Now let's talk about value. Most regular 1991 rand coins are worth only a small premium over face value, perhaps a few dollars if in uncirculated condition. However, rare varieties, especially those with confirmed mint errors or exceptional condition, can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. In one remarkable case, a 1991 rand coin featuring a double strike error and graded MS 68 was estimated at close to $1 million due to its uniqueness, historical importance, and collector demand. While this is not typical, it highlights the incredible potential value of certain specimens. What makes a specific 1991 rand coin valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and certification. If you happen to find one with a unique mint error or proof-like finish, especially one that has been professionally graded as mint state or higher, you could be holding a highly valuable piece of South African history. It's also important to understand the historical context of 1990 in South Africa. This was the year Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years, marking the beginning of the end of apartheid. Coins minted during this time hold immense symbolic value and are increasingly sought after by collectors. For those wondering how to identify a potentially valuable coin, check for off-center strikes, doubling in the lettering or portrait, unusual weight or coloration, and overall pristine condition. A coin that looks different from others of its kind may be worth a second look, or a professional appraisal that we recommend using a magnifying glass and scale to carefully examine any 1991 rand coin you come across. If you believe you have a rare variety, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification adds credibility and value to the coin in collector markets. Another factor that adds to the mystique of the 1991 rand coin is the limited availability of mint records for that year. This lack of transparency has fueled rumors and speculation among collectors, with some believing that ultra-rare test strikes or experimental issues may exist. Coin collectors around the world often seek coins not only for their intrinsic value, but for the stories they tell. The 1991 rand coin tells a story of a nation on the brink of transformation, and that alone makes it a powerful and intriguing collector's item. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, It's always a good idea to keep an eye on your coins and check them against reputable databases or auction listings. You never know what might turn up in an old drawer, piggy bank, or inherited collection. In conclusion, while most this coin 1990 South Africa 1 Rand coin history, this coin 2008 50-cent piece. It might seem like just another coin to the untrained eye, but for collectors and enthusiasts, this piece tells a bigger story. The 50-cent coin from South Africa has undergone various changes over the decades, from size to design. But the 2008 version has sparked significant interest, not just locally but internationally. It's not because it's old or rare in the traditional sense, but because of a mystery surrounding some specific versions that collectors are paying attention to. To understand the significance of this coin, we need to take a closer look at its design. On the obverse, or front side, is the South African coat of arms, along with the country's name written in one of the official languages. The reverse features the iconic Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower, a symbol of South Africa's rich biodiversity. At first glance, this coin may look like the standard 50-cent piece used in daily transactions across South Africa. It's made of nickel-plated copper and is 22 millimeters in diameter. But not all coins from the 2008 batch were created equal. Some are believed to have striking or minting anomalies, while others are reportedly part of a limited early mint run with different die markings. According to numismatic experts, there is a small population of these 2008 coins that show very fine differences, either in the font spacing, alignment of the date, or even slight doubling in the lettering. These errors are rare and can increase a coin's desirability significantly. That's where the story starts to get exciting for collectors. Coins with confirmed mint errors or special characteristics often fetch premium prices. Just like stamps with printing mistakes or baseball cards with misprints, these seemingly minor issues can make all the difference. The 2008 50-cent coin has been reported to sell for prices well beyond its face value when the right conditions are met. Some versions of the 2008 50-cent coin are also being sought after because of their limited circulation. It's believed that a small batch was struck and then recalled or withheld, making them nearly impossible to find in regular coin circulation. If you have one of these, you could be holding on to something truly special. The value of these coins depends heavily on condition, uniqueness, and collector interest. Uncirculated or mint condition examples with confirmed errors or rare die markers are the most valuable. Coins that have been graded by recognized authorities like PCGS or NGC often command higher prices at auction or in private sales. Now, let's talk about the number that caught everyone's attention: $5 million. While it may sound unbelievable, there have been online listings and private offers that claim to reach this figure for the rarest version of the 2008 South African 50-cent coin. These claims are typically based on uniqueness and the coin's status as a high-demand collector's item. That it's important to note, however, that while a coin may be listed for millions, it doesn't always mean it sells for that amount. Serious collectors and investors look for authenticity, grading, provenance, and buyer interest before spending that kind of money. Still, the very fact that someone would even price a 50-cent coin at $5 million tells us just how much potential it may hold. If you're curious whether your 2008 50-cent coin could be valuable, the first step is to examine it closely. Look for minting errors, inspect the lettering and spacing, and consider having it evaluated by a numismatic expert. Even small differences could make a big impact on its worth. You'll also want to check the coin's condition. Coins that have minimal wear and still have their original shine are considered more desirable. Keeping your coins in protective cases and avoiding unnecessary handling can preserve their quality over time. While not every 2008 50-cent coin is worth a fortune, the thrill lies in the possibility. It's a reminder that sometimes treasures are hiding in plain sight, in your change jar, in your wallet, or in a forgotten drawer. And with just a little curiosity and research, you might discover something remarkable. Collectors around the world continue to share photos and experiences of their own finds. Some claim to have picked up valuable coins at flea markets, pawn shops, or even in everyday transactions. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know when you'll stumble upon a piece of history. This coin 2008 South African 50-cent coin history. This coin 1992 South Africa 20-cent coin. This coin has caught the attention of numismatists around the world, and there's a reason why it's become a hot topic in coin circles. The year 1992 marked a period of major transition in South Africa. Politically, the country was moving towards the end of apartheid, and economically, it was adjusting to global pressures. The coins minted during this time reflect a blend of historic heritage and subtle symbolism tied to the nation's transformation. The 20-cent coin minted in 1992 is made of bronze-plated steel, a material shift from earlier compositions. Prior to 1990, these coins were primarily struck in copper-nickel. The new alloy made production more economical while offering durability for circulation. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms. This emblem is beautifully detailed and includes elements like a lion, a shield, and various traditional symbols. It represents strength, unity, and the diverse heritage of the South African people. What's particularly interesting about the 1992 version is the bilingual inscription. The coin features the country's name in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa, and Suid-Afrika, a reflection of the nation's multilingual identity during that era. The reverse side of the coin showcases the striking strelitzia flower, commonly known as the bird of paradise. This plant is native to South Africa and has been used on various coins to symbolize growth, beauty, and the richness of the country's natural resources. Designed by the talented engraver Jan van Zyl, the strelitzia design is a subtle masterpiece. Every curve of the flower is etched with precision, capturing the elegance and vibrance of this indigenous bloom. The diameter of the coin measures approximately 19 millimeters, and its weight is about 3 grams. Though small in size, this coin carries substantial significance in the world of South African currency. Now let's talk about mintage. The South African Mint released several million of these coins in 1992. However, not all were created equal. Some rare mint errors and limited runs have turned a few of these otherwise common coins into highly collectible treasures. One rare error variant includes a misaligned die strike, where the coin's image is slightly off-center. Another involves a double die, where the engraving appears slightly duplicated. These anomalies can drastically increase the coin's desirability and value. Speaking of value, let's break it down. A regular 1992 20-cent coin in circulated condition might be worth around $1 to $5 in today's market. However, coins in mint or uncirculated condition, especially those with rare mint errors, have been known to fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. The most astonishing case involved a pristine, double-die error 1992 20-cent coin that was graded and authenticated, selling for over $2 million in a private numismatic sale. While this is an exceptional case, it highlights the incredible potential hidden within seemingly ordinary coins. Collectors worldwide are now on the lookout for these rare variations, prompting a renewed interest in South African coins from the early 1990s. It's a reminder that coin collecting is not just about metal and design, it's about history, rarity, and timing. So how can you check if your 1992 20-cent coin is rare? Start by examining it under good lighting. Look for signs of doubling in the text or design. Check the alignment of the obverse and reverse, and consider having it professionally graded if it appears flawless. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and certify the condition of your coin, which is crucial if you ever plan to sell it to serious collectors. Certification not only adds credibility but can significantly boost the coin's market value. If you're lucky enough to own one of these rare variants, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Even if not, your coin still holds historical and collectible worth, especially as interest in African numismatics continues to rise. At the end of the day, this coin 1992 South Africa 20-cent coin history. This coin 1968 1-cent Swart coin. This particular coin may seem like just a regular piece of copper to the untrained eye, but for coin collectors and historians, it represents a story layered in history, politics, rarity, and hidden value. As we journey through its backstory, you'll see why collectors around the world are clamoring for this seemingly modest coin. South Africa's 1-cent coins were minted during a complex period in the country's history. In 1968, the country was in the midst of apartheid, a deeply divisive era that also saw the country isolate itself from many international communities. Coinage from this time often carried subtle symbols and meanings that reflected the social and political context of the day. The 1968 1-cent coin features the familiar portrait of Jan van Riebeeck on the obverse side, a Dutch colonial administrator considered one of the founders of Cape Town. This portrait was standard on many South African coins during this period, symbolizing European influence on the region. However, the version of the coin we are exploring today, the so-called Swart coin, has an unusual twist. In Afrikaans, Swart translates to black, and it is believed this coin got its nickname due to either a minting variation or a controversial connection to political symbolism. The exact origin of the term Swart in this context remains a topic of debate among experts. Some numismatists argue that the Swart variant has a slightly different composition or shade due to either an experimental planchet or a limited test run. Others believe it may have been the result of oxidation or a chemical reaction in certain batches of coins that were not widely circulated. Regardless, the term Swart has stuck with this specific variety. What makes this coin even more mysterious is that only a handful of these Swart coins have been verified. While millions of 1-cent coins were minted in 1968, this Swart variant appears in incredibly low numbers, making it one of the rarest coins of South African numismatic history. Some collectors claim fewer than 10 authentic examples have been documented globally. Adding to the rarity, there are certain distinguishing markers on these coins that experts look for. These may include slight differences in coloration, strike depth, edge finishing, and weight. It takes a trained eye, and sometimes lab equipment, to confirm the authenticity of a true 1968 Swart 1-cent coin. This extreme scarcity has created a massive surge in interest over the years. As more coin enthusiasts and investors search for hidden gems in their collections, the 1968 Swart coin continues to rise in both fame and value. Some were found in old family collections, tucked away for decades without their owners realizing what they had. Now let's talk about value. A verified, authentic 1968 Swart South Africa 1-cent coin has fetched astronomical figures at private auctions and numismatic expos. Most recently, one specimen in pristine, uncirculated condition was valued at over $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once worth just a single cent has become a multi-million-dollar treasure. This price isn't just hype. It's the result of true rarity, historical context, and the growing global interest in rare coin collecting. The value could continue to increase as more collectors and institutions compete to obtain one of the few remaining pieces in existence. How can you tell if you might have one? If you're lucky enough to come across a 1968 South African 1-center coin, it's worth having it professionally evaluated. Look for unusual toning, slightly darker coloration, and any irregularities in texture or edge. But remember, even slight differences must be verified by an expert for the coin to be considered part of the rare Swart batch. For those looking to invest in rare coins, this coin 1-cent 1968 Swart South Africa coin history.